The Princess and the Pea. Once there was a king, queen, and their son, the prince. Prince Philip was his name. And Prince Philip was reaching manhood, and so the king and queen told him that it was time for him to get married. Whom shall I marry? I know just how we can try to find a princess for you, because you must marry a princess, said Mom, the queen. We will have a ball. It's kind of like the Cinderella ball, I think. Anyway, we will invite all the princesses from neighboring countries to attend the ball. And that's what they did. They held the ball, very festive, very beautiful, invited all the princesses from far and near to attend the ball. And they all came to the ball. And Prince Philip talked with each one of them, danced with each one of them through the whole night. At the end of the ball, when the princesses had left, the king and the queen very eagerly asked him, well, which one did you like? Really, he said, I didn't like any of them. One of them was very bossy. Many of them were rude. They seemed only concerned about themselves and their dresses and the beauty of their gowns. I asked them if they liked to play croquet. No. Would they like to see my butterfly collection? No, not interesting, boring. Gowns are more interesting than butterflies. What was the third thing? Look at the stars. Yes, astronomy. Would you like to look through my telescope at the stars? Not very interesting. So he found them boring. Well, what shall we do? What shall we do? Now, it was late at night. Just then there was a knock at the door of the castle, apparently. The servants opened the door, and there stood a young woman. Her dress was torn. She was wet because it was a stormy night. I didn't mention that, but it's not important till now. It was a stormy night. She was wet and dripping water down. What can I do for you? I was invited to the ball, but my carriage along the way lost a wheel. They couldn't fix the wheel, and I was forced to walk here, or you would think that I was rude by my not coming and not sending any message either. You see what good manners she has. And I just wanted to explain all this to you. I didn't want you to feel offended. How nice. On the way, it was still daytime, and the butterflies were so numerous, I just loved looking at the butterflies. Wow. And then after night fell, I looked at the stars, and the stars are so beautiful tonight. Wow, perfect, too perfect. But the king loved her. The queen, the prince loved her. But the queen was not so sure. Her name was Rosalie. And the queen said, are you a princess? Yes, of course I'm a princess. I told you I'm a princess. Then please spend the night with us. The queen had a test. The test was she had servants make a bed, very comfortable bed for Rosalie. That's her name, Rosalie. 20 mattresses. But on the bottom mattress, in the very middle of the mattress, she put a pea. Just a little pea. A princess, the queen says, will feel that pea even through 20 mattresses. A princess is, or should be, so sensitive. So let's see what happens. So they showed Rosalie her bed. Rosalie said, well, you didn't have to make such a bed as this. But okay. So she climbed the ladder and lay down, and good night. The next morning, she appeared to the king and queen and Prince Philip, dressed beautifully, looking beautiful, but a little tired, and circles around her eyes, and she walked kind of bent a little bit, and she yawned. Did you sleep well? Well, frankly, no. I tossed and I turned and I tried to get to sleep, but I couldn't get to sleep. Why? Well, I know this sounds crazy, but I think you better change that bed for the next person who lies there. I think maybe there is a pea down underneath maybe the bottom mattress. Oh my Lord, she's perfect. She's perfect. Now the Queen loved her too. Philip and Rosalie started talking about the things they were interested in. They fell in love with each other instantly. As always in these stories, they got married that day, short courtship, and they spent the rest of their lives together playing croquet, looking at butterflies, looking at the stars.